morning, ladies. My name is Nina, and I'm a classical Pilates instructor and also an oncology nurse. And this morning, we're going to try a nice treat for our Friday morning. A bit of calm, good positive energy. I always say, let's get stronger than yesterday. We're going to start off this morning with some meditation, creating some mindfulness, living in the present, and then we'll move on to our relaxation pose. So since this is a Zoom class, I always like to teach a relaxation pose that you can go into at any time so that you have a great class and happy backs. All right, ladies, let's sit in a comfortable pose. We're going to start off working on connecting to the present with our breath, working on some mindfulness. So you can sit up and crisscross applesauce like I am, or if you want, you can lay down on your back. We're just going to close our eyes and take a deep breath in and exhale. Another deep breath in and letting it all go. And as you're connecting to the breath, living in the moment, you can think of a perfect day. Perhaps you are in the mountains and there's a beautiful breeze going on, or you want to change the channel and you are at the beach, or maybe you're just having a cup of tea with your favorite person, or maybe you're just thinking of the color purple for relaxation, or orange for some calm. Our breath is something that we can use as a stress tool, or even a happy tool in times of joy, in times of stress. And as I'm speaking to you, I would like you to continue with your breath, taking a deep breath in, and then letting it all go. Self-care, meditation, practicing our breath, creating space in the mind to connect to the present. When we try very hard to sleep, we mostly remain awake. When we push very hard for an answer, we mostly remain confused. In letting go, we create the space for what's needed. You may have experienced this in everyday life, where you're really looking for an idea or an answer, but it doesn't come to you. Then when you go on to a new activity, it creates some space for the mind, just something to think about. So let's take another deep breath in and exhale. And now we're going to move on to our first pose this morning, and this is a relaxation pose. So I try to create this class for everyone's own ability. So if anything is too difficult this morning or makes your body angry, you can go into this pose called baby back roll. I'm going to roll down onto my back and just grabbing my knees to my chest, giving myself a nice big hug. Perhaps even thinking of being a little grateful this morning, of just having this calm hour, connecting to our breath. Now let's roll out on our lumbar spine, on the lower back. That helps keep us together. And let's continue practicing with our breath, living in the present. So again, this pose is called baby back roll, and this is what I'd like you to go into today at any time. If something makes your body angry or is just not for you. Let's take another deep breath in and exhale. Now let's come into happy baby. We're going to grab our big toes and just roll out that lower back. Poses today a few times just to work on our flexibility, getting stronger than yesterday. All right, so we're going to start off with some bridging this morning. Let's bring our feet flat to the mat, and we're going to always work on our range of motion too. Let's roll our shoulder blades back, opening that chest, so that our scapula, our shoulder blades are locked into the mat and our arms are coming forward long and strong, and we're slowly going to pick up our hips, lower back, middle back, upper back, all the way to the ceiling. And let's just engage those glutes, feeling so strong and also calm. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale. Another deep breath in. Let it all go. Now let's slowly bring our hips to the right, to the left, right again, to the left, to the right, to the left, and then let's come center together. And yes, you guys might be thinking, oh, maybe this could be also pelvic rehab. And yes, this is really great for all of that and for getting us stronger. And we're slowly going to roll that spine all the way back down to the mat, one vertebrae at a time. And now let's come all the way up again, lower back, middle back, upper back, engaging those glutes. And again, we're going to bring the hips to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, coming center. And now we're going to do a little add-on, painting stripes on the ceiling. So let's bring that right leg pointed all the way to the ceiling, and we're going to bring that stripe down to meet the opposite knee, and then coming all the way back up again. I always say 8 is great. There's a little joke that Pilates instructors don't know how to count because we do so many reps. Alrighty, so let's flex that foot, point it, flex, point, flex, point. Now we're going to pretend we have a 50-pound weight on that leg and bring it all the way back down to the mat. So that foot is flat and the hips are still all the way up, and we're going to shoot that left leg pointed up to the ceiling, and let's do that little stripe. Painting stripes on the ceiling, you can have a little daydream. I'm thinking maybe some coastal baby blue stripes. Bring that foot all the way up to the ceiling, and we're going to flex it, point it, flex it, point it. Let's flex again, point, one more time for good luck, flex, point. Let's bring that leg slowly with control all the way back down to the mat. And then we are going to come to a standing position. And feeling so strong today, let's bring our body into a pose, maybe like a cathedral. We are just going to spread our knees, probably the width of the mat, pointed, and coming down do what feels good for you. Bringing our tummies in nice and tight, rolling our shoulder blades back, and then bringing our arms up like a goal post, kind of like a soccer post. Taking a deep breath in and exhaling. Taking another deep breath in and letting it all go. Just feeling super strong, holding on to that position. Probably gonna hold for maybe another 20 seconds. Taking a deep breath in and exhaling. Another deep breath in and letting it all go. All right, let's slowly coming all the way up to a standing position. And we are going to come, so we're going to work on some balance right now. And sometimes balance work is easier off your mat on a hardwood floor. If you're new to balance work, you can certainly hold on to a chair or your couch. We're just going to start off with some gentle shoulder shrugs, rolling those shoulder blades back, having our belly in nice and tight. Joseph Pilates used to say, let's crack the walnut, engaging your scapula. And now let's reverse those shoulder shrugs. Let's bring our hands to our waist, and we're just going to do a little gentle neck roll. Sometimes a place we might hide some stress. Then we're going to reverse it. Let's roll those shoulder blades back and bring our arms to a T. And we're just going to do a few gentle circles. This is a really good one for everyone working on range of motion and posture. And of course, my feet are long and strong that I can feel the floor. Nice and engaged. We're going to reverse those circles. Now let's bring our hands all the way to the ceiling into prayer position. Take a deep breath in and exhale, coming into a forward fold. Let's spread our feet the width of the mat and coming all the way down just to our tailbone and exhaling. Now we can bring our hands kind of like into a grandfather clock pose, just loosening up that spine, working on happy backs today, low impact Pilates, fusion, a couple of yoga moves. Now we're going to move those hands into small tennis balls and reverse it. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Now let's come up one vertebrae at a time, honoring that spine, rolling the shoulder blades back. Let's bring our hands to the ceiling again into prayer pose and bringing that big ball of energy to heart center, taking a deep breath in and exhaling. And now we are going to work on a bit of balance. So again, you can hold on to the couch or the chair, or perhaps this is a perfect exercise for you. We're going to bring our hands into prayer position, and you can bring the leg all the way up to a bent knee, or you can even rest it on the opposite knee. Standing nice and tall, bellies are in. Still focusing on our breath, living in the moment. Let's bring that foot slowly back down to the mat. Let's bring those hands again all the way up to the ceiling, taking a deep breath in and exhaling as we bring them into prayer position. And let's bring up the opposite leg, bend, holding in our bellies nice and tight. And let's slowly bring that leg all the way back down. And let's come into that strong cathedral again. So we're going to bring our legs spread probably the width of the mat, sink down and bring those arms up like soccer goalposts. And let's just feel that nice, beautiful strength and control, and perhaps even some calm. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale. Great range of motion position, opening that chest, beautiful posture. Take one more deep breath in. Even sinking a little deeper. All right, let's slowly get out of this position, and we're just going to do a little bit of gentle yoga, and then of course come back to Pilates. You might want a little sip of water, taking care of ourselves. So we're going to start with our angry cat, or angry happy cat. Hands are flat on the mat with fingers spread. Our feet, we're just having our foot like on the mat, not flat foot. Let's take a deep breath in, bringing the belly up to the ceiling, and then exhaling. So we're coming up into a C curve. Let's take another deep breath in, and then roll down. Another deep breath in. Now we're going to come up on our feet into downward dog. Head is resting between our hands. And we're just going to bring a foot up and down. This is called walking the dog. Feeling that nice hamstring stretch. And then if you want, you can come into King Cobra, just bringing your body, your belly down near the mat, a few inches up, and then bringing your head all the way up. Or you can come into a plank. And then we're just going to come into relaxation pose. Coming into your knees, forehead coming down to the mat, walking those fingers out to child's pose, taking a deep breath in, and exhaling. Taking another deep breath in, and then let go. Let's come back into angry cat. Hands are flat on the mat, fingers are spread. Bringing that back into a C curve, drawing it up to the ceiling, taking a deep breath in, and exhaling as we bring the belly to the mat. Taking the back all the way up again into a C curve, and then exhaling. All right, ladies, while we're in this pose, we're going to do a knee stretch. So you can come up gently on your knees, and we're just going to do a little daydream that we're on a reformer, hands are forward, and that we have some pulleys or some ropes, and we're holding on to them nice and tight, and we're gently going to hinge back just maybe 2 or 3 inches, and you'll feel that nice gentle knee stretch. And then coming forward again. All right, let's hinge back. Come all the way forward. We're going to hinge back. All righty, let's come down to our mat and start off with our 100. Okay, so our 100s, there's a few ways we can do these. We're laying all the way back down on our mat, bringing our legs into tabletop. Arms are long and strong. If you have any neck issues, I will leave your head on the mat. If you're feeling fine, you can bring your shoulder blades off the mat. Bellies are in nice and tight. And we're gonna pump those arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can also, if you want a little challenge, bring your legs forward and long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can also alternate tabletop for 5, long for 5. And if this is too making your body angry, of course, come into that baby back roll. All right, let's do 20 more 100s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tabletop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's bring those knees in, ladies, and give yourself a nice, grateful, big hug. Happy Friday. Let's take a deep breath in. Another deep breath in and exhale. Let's move on to happy baby. Those of you who are moms out there, remember kids doing this in their cribs when they were like under 1 or 1.5. We're going to grab onto our big toes, and maybe we're already starting to feel a little more flexible than we did when we first started. A little more sense of control. Let's take a deep breath in. Let it all go. All right, you can rock or roll up. We're gonna move on to our half roll downs. So I'm sitting up nice and tall, grabbing my thighs, and this is a pretty gentle exercise. We're going to come back, hinging our spine to a C curve, just a few inches so you feel your abs engage, and then coming up and trying to grow taller, elongating your spine, shooting your hips into the mat. I'm just going to hinge back again. And come all the way up, nice and tall. All right, let's shoot our legs long. So now we're going to force come into a full roll up. So by chance, if you have any 1-pound weights in your house, or maybe even Campbell's soup cans, could help. Or you can do a little daydream like I am, pretend I have that rope. You can also, if you've never done this, if it's a little hard or tricky, you can put your feet under the couch. Okay, so I am doing my little daydream with the rope. My feet are flexed, and I'm going to slowly hinge back 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way to lying position on my back. And then I'm going to bring my arms over my head, and I'm going to take a deep breath in, and I'm going to gently come up and exhale. And I'm also going to hinge forward, doing that nice, beautiful 2-way body stretch, shooting my tailbone out. way back up, trying to grow taller, shooting my hips into the mat, and then hinging all the way back. Bringing my hands over my head, and come all the way back. And let's just do that nice, gentle, two-way stretch. Okay, last one, make it your best. All right, ladies, you might want to have a little sip of water. We're moving on to rolling like a ball. So feet are flat in the mat. I'm going to bring my hands to prayer position, open the book, grab onto my ankles, and they are a little bit off the mat. So I will demonstrate. I'm going to roll back on my shoulder blades, my scapula, and then I'm going to come all the way back up. Just a little gentle rolling like a ball. So you could try this a few times. It's supposed to make you feel like a little kid. Alrighty. I'm going to move on now to one leg circle. So of course I'm going to plug in and roll up and roll down. Let's hinge all the way back down to the mat. Let's roll. Let's get working on our powerhouse this morning. We're going to roll our shoulder blades back. Our powerhouse is the area of shoulder blades to our hips. So I'm rolling my shoulder blades back, connecting the scapula to the mat. Arms are also connected, long and strong. My legs are engaged, glutes. I'm shooting up my right leg, pointed, and I'm just going to do a circle with that leg. So your circle can be small or it can be larger, but the goal is to keep that left hip engaged in the mat. It's a hip opener exercise. We're going to reverse that circle. Now we're just going to slowly, gently bring that leg all the way back down to the mat. And let's shoot up that left leg pointed. And we're going to do our circle. Pause at the top. Finish that circle. Now we're slowly, with control, going to bring that leg all the way back down to the mat. We're going to move on now to our one leg pull. So again, if your neck feels fine, you can bring it off the mat. And I'm going to bring my right knee to my chest. Left leg is pointed and long. Pull, pull, switch it, pull, pull, switch it, pull, pull, switch it, pull, pull, switch it. Pull, pull, switch it, pull, pull. Do a few more. Alright, let's come into that relaxation pose, our baby back roll. Bring ourselves a nice big hug, rolling out that back. And then, of course, we're going to come into Happy Baby, one of our favorites. All right, ladies, we're going to come now into scissors. So scissors, again, if your neck is okay, you're gonna bring it off the mat. Right leg is pointed toward the ceiling. Pull, pull, switch it. Pull, pull. Pull, pull, switch it. Pull, pull. Pull, pull. Pull, pull. Really great stretch, I think. Alrighty, let's give ourselves another nice big hug, bringing the knees to our chest. Okay, we're gonna move on to an exercise called lower lifts. So there's two ways of doing this. The more gentle way is to bring your hands into a diamond like this, and then I'm gonna come down to the mat and I'm gonna put my hands underneath my seat. Shoot your legs up to the ceiling, pointed. Lower, 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 lift. Lower, 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 lift. You can also cradle your neck, is a little more advanced. Lower, 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 lift. Lower, 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 lift. Lower in one, lift in three. 1, 2, 3. Lower in 1, 1, 2, 3. Lower in 1, 1, 2, 3. Lower in 1, 1, 2, 3. All right, let's bring our knees to our chest. Pulling out our spine. Alrighty, let's come into happy baby. We all love that. The last of the app series we'll do right now is called crisscross. So you probably did this exercise a little similar in grade school probably, but this is a Pilates move. So I will demonstrate. I'm going to bring my left knee bent to my right elbow and then switch it. Crisscross. And then let's bring our knees back to our chest and roll out our spine. Alrighty. Rock or roll up. We're going to come now into one of my favorites called Mermaid. This is a nice stretch of our obliques. So we are going to come into our side. Our left hand is going to hold that left ankle. Right arm is going to shoot up by the right ear. And I'm going to take a deep breath in and exhale. As I'm gently pulling that left arm a little bit to the ceiling and then coming into a nice rainbow stretch. Just pulling gently from our obliques. And you can certainly take a few more deep breaths here, enjoying the stretch. Let's bring that left arm all the way back up again, gently coming to the ceiling. And then coming into that nice rainbow stretch. And coming all the way back up again. And then coming into that rainbow. Okay, let's move on to the opposite side. So we are holding that right ankle. Left arm is up by the left ear. Let's gently stretch a little higher to the ceiling and then bringing that arm over into the rainbow. Taking and breathing into that stretch. Taking that hand all the way up again, that arm to the ceiling, and coming to the nice stretch. Okay, now we're going to do another nice stretch called pigeon. So we are going to bring our right leg forward, sliding back down, and you can enjoy this stretch. If you're an avid walker or runner, you might have some tight hamstrings. And if you want a little bit more, you can bring your forehead down to the mat, resting on your hands. Continuing to connect to our breath. We're going to slowly come out of this and come onto our opposite side. So let's bring that left leg forward, sliding down a bit. This might be a great stretch for you right here. Or again, if you want a little more, you can bring your head down on top of your hands stacked. Again, connecting to our breath. Alrighty, so you can slowly come out of this. I'm going to have a sip of water. We're going to move on to some swimming this morning. So you can have a little daydream that you're at the beach. We're going to lie down on our tummies, and we're just going to flutter our hands and our feet. So I'm shooting my hands kind of like a Superman pose. Hands and feet are coming long, and I'm fluttering them, holding onto my belly nice and tight. And if you could do 10 or 20, that's great. And then you can drop it. Alrighty. We're going to do a nice chest extension, range of motion right now. So it's called rocker. We're going to grab our feet and just stretch them long. And you can gently lift up your head and your neck and your chest. If you want, you can try to rock. Or of course, you can always go into happy baby. Alright, just slowly gonna put that down. Okay, this is a more gentle one. I'm gonna come up on my forearms, holding in my belly nice and tight. Bring my right leg to my seat, kick 3 times, kick, 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 and then bringing that leg slowly and strongly all the way back down on the mat. Left leg, kick, 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 and then bringing it all the way back down. Right leg, kick, 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 bringing it back down on the mat. Left leg, kick, 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 bringing it all the way back down. So one more time, kick, 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 coming back down, kick, kick, kick. Alrighty, so let's come down with our left cheek on the mat. Hands are coming into the small of our back, and let's kick our seat 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Bringing the feet slowly back down to the mat, bringing the head forward, and then slowly coming up out of the water. Really great for range of motion. And then we're going to come all the way back down to the opposite cheek, Again, hands are on the small of our back. Let's kick our seat 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Gently bringing the knees and the legs all the way straight. Head is coming forward and we're coming up. Alrighty. Little sip of water. We're going to do some inversions now that are beginner. So let's lay back down on our mat, on our back, and we are going to hold on to our hips and just come off the mat if you want to try this. And we're just going to do some scissors with our legs. And now we're going to come into a bicycle. And now we're going to reverse the bicycle. Now I know we have a lot of mixed ages in the group. If you want to try to put your feet over your head, you can. And you can grab your little toes with your hands and just do that nice stretch. And then we're going to bring it all the way back down to the mat. So let's do a little daydream that maybe we are at the beach this morning. Legs are spread the width of the mat and they're flexed, and we have a big beach ball. And we're just going to do a nice gentle stretch, spine stretch forward. Not a ballet stretch, this is a Pilates stretch. So we have this big beach ball and we're just slowly coming forward, stretching over the ball. And then we're coming all the way back up, trying to grow taller, elongating the spine and shooting our hips into the mat. Let's take another deep breath in. And as we exhale, let's move forward. Now we're coming all the way back up again. Taking a deep breath in. And coming forward. Keep a deep breath in. Let's come forward again. Alrighty. We're going to do another nice gentle stretch called saw. We're going to bring our arms out into a T, nice range of motion, and my right pinky is going to touch my left pinky toe, and then coming forward. And every time we come forward, let's roll the shoulder blades back, opening that beautiful chest, and then we're coming opposite way, getting a little stronger than yesterday. And forward. All right, ladies, I think we're gonna move on now to some leg lifts. If you want to have a sip of water. And I think I'm gonna adjust my mat a little bit. So we are lying in what we call banana pose. So we are long against the edge of the mat and the feet are coming forward, bellies are in, and we're just gonna do a leg lift forward and back. And the rest of our body is engaged in that. Eight is great. And then let's bring that working leg forward to match the opposite foot, and we're going to do some up and downs. We're going to point the leg going up and flex it going down. one more up and down, and then we're going to move on to our circles. So again, your circle can be small if you're having issues with your hips. Belly is in, or your circle can be a little larger if that feels good for you. And we're always pausing up the top. All right, now let's bring that foot, that working foot, bent in, and we're just going to push up the knee a little bit and point our foot to the opposite foot, and we're just going to do some up and downs. And now we're working our inner thigh. And we're going to come into some circles again. And then reverse it. And then let's bring those legs forward, and you can shake them out a little bit or pat them. We're going to flip over to the opposite way. Alrighty, so we are still in that banana pose where we are long on our mat, feet are coming forward. And we're just going to do that leg lift forward and back. We're going to bring our legs together, and we're going to do our up and down. So that working leg is pointed going up and then flex coming down. Alrighty, let's move on now to our circles. So again, your circle can be small. This is a hip opener. Your circle can be a little bigger, pausing up at the top, circling around. Nice, gentle, low impact exercise. Let's reverse that circle the opposite way. And now let's move on to our inner thigh. So we're going to move that working leg forward. Slowly push up at that knee, bring that foot the opposite way. And we're going to bring our up and downs pointed, the inner thigh. And then we're going to move on to some small circles with that leg. Reverse it. All right, now let's, in closing, let's come up to a standing position. So we're standing nice and tall. Let's roll our shoulder blades back, opening that chest. This is a great exercise to do maybe when you've been in office appointments a lot, or your back feels tight, maybe in the car or by the computer. Let's reverse those circles. Let's think of the calmness that we brought into our lives this morning on the mat. And let's bring our hands to the ceiling, taking a deep breath in and exhaling as we bring our hands into our heart center. Let's take another deep breath in And as we exhale, come into a forward fold to our coccyx bones. And let's just hang like a clock pendulum for a minute. And then let's slowly come up one vertebrae at a time to a standing position, rolling your shoulder blades back, feet together. We're going to take our right foot back and match our left foot, standing nice and tall. Legs are grounded. And I hope that you enjoyed the class today, ladies.